Right, everybody. I'm live again, back doing the Bond reviews and that. And what a great film, as always, the Bond films are. The Spy Who Loved Me. You know, I use the like Japanese covers because I had Lotus Esprit in it, and it's got the like mega layered bass sort of thing. Yeah, and it had it in Chinese, I think. Or chat, whatever it was, but yeah. So I put the Spy Who Loved Me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, but yeah. See the Lotus Esprit. There we go. Oh, yeah, there's a Lotus underwater and that. And like these two women, um, there was two women in it, but I don't know if they was like the same ones. I don't think they are. I think they're just two different women. But yeah, then Roger Moore. And yeah, going to add Jaws in, where you can see there, Roger Moore, he's 6'2", but he's making, because like he's supposed to be like pinned up and all, so he's making him look like a child, because usually he'll come up to his shoulders. So, but yeah, class film, class film. Yeah, yeah, The Spy Who Loved Me. Roger Moore as James Bond. Yeah, didn't do a great of a picture, but always had anyway. Nowadays, they're airbrushed his hand, but yeah, but they had underwater submarine things and all in it. It's like, yeah, they all went out for the fucking crazy gadgets. Well, uh, marine vehicles anyway. In this one, cause yeah, is basically though, um, like dams are forever. Apart from stealing um, American and Russian um, spacecrafts that they're sending up into space and that, like rocket ships, that they stealing nuclear subs from the Americans and Russians to get a war going and that, like, like a nuke war and all. They're trying to set up. So yeah, and yeah, get the cast up and that because Roger Moore, James Bond, obviously, and that, and the rest like QM and Miss Moneypenny was in it. But Yeah. Alright, Courtney. It's Courtney's fellowship over balls saying aye. Yeah, alright, Courtney. Yeah, you're talking about the spy who loved me. Like, pretty much the same plotline nearly as Diamonds Are Forever, but with a twist at the end. Because in Diamonds Are Forever, um, they want to start a war, but I don't think it's a nuclear war. Where in this one, it's a nuclear war. Oh yeah, yeah, I've been all right. God, yeah, yeah. Just watched The Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah, great film. It's got the Lotus spray that goes underwater in that class. Like, I've got the little figure of it and all. The little well, I don't know if it's made by Korg. It might be, but it's that sort of Matchbox Corgi um, Hot Wheels size sort of thing. Yeah, it's, here's the cast. Great cast and that in it. Yeah, Roger Moore and Barbara Batch and Richard Kell and I thought Albert Broccoli was in it, but yeah, yeah, Ted Jane Jurgens as Carl Strombag, yeah, and Caroline Monroe as Naomi, yeah, and Ike Powell as Ab Beauty number three. Yeah. Oh, more. Yeah, and then Desmond Llewellyn as Q. Yeah. George Roback as I think he was one of the strong bag because Ked Jurgens he plays like the main villain in this called Carl Stromberg, and he plays one of his scientist dude. Even though he's not a scientist, really, it's more medical, technical op because he builds a tracking device for submarines and that. And his mate, and Bernard Lee is I tell you, whoever puts these casts up, I reckon they're, they're like, oh yeah, get the women because like Sue Vanna is in it for like 2 minutes at the beginning, but she's a Bond girl, so and then like Lewis Maxwell plays Miss Moneypenny in that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Michael Billington, um, Sergei Baristov, who plays oh, Barbara Bench's husband, sort of, or boyfriend, and that. Oh, spoiler, a bit of a spoiler, but it's at the beginning anyway, so it's not really much of a spoiler. But yeah, Bond killed her, and so yeah, but and Dawn Ruges as Arab Beauty number two. Yeah, she because they go to and yeah, Van Ron double, double chef plays Max Gale. He's in it for a bit, like because he's got somewhat like the need and that. And yeah, Francine York, a beauty number one. Sydney Trailer as leprous, leprous captain. Cause that's the name of a ship, a big, massive trawler ship. That he's captain of, and Shane Rimmer as the captain. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, Walter Gottel as General Gogol. He's like the Russian M. Nadim Swimmer as the Fekish. Yeah. When you wear it in film, it sounds like peckish. Put it in, it's feckish. But yeah. And Jeffrey Key as Sir Frederick. Frederick Snow. But yeah, he's like a Brit. He plays like a British sort of like. Oh, he's like M's sort of like thingy, helping that he does like the army. He's the army colonel of the British Army and that. Uh, Lorraine Long as a hotel receptionist. Yeah, she. Oh yeah, Jill Goodall as Arab beauty number 4 because there's quite a few Arab beauties because they go to Egypt and and Olega Bezerra as Felicia. She's in it for like well family. She's honey trap for Bond and Robert Brown Admiral Hangover Christopher Muckle as the USS Wayne. But that's from Star Wars. That's so he's been in Star Wars and Bond. Yeah. And Kevin McNally as HMS Ranger. Edward D. Suller as Shakan Horson. Yeah. Uh, Milton Reed as Sandor. Yeah, he's a big dude. Well, not all that tall, but real big because he, him and Jaws, um, Richard Kell, who plays Jaws in that, the two henchmen and Rakibid Anwar as Korea Clubowner probably in that, yeah. Yeah, so, Jeffrey Bullock, Nicole Campbell, Albert Moores, John Salthouse, Brian Marshall, Molo, Speber, Professor Makovich, people there. Because like yeah, there's loads of like thingy fights in it, battle fights. Get back to the chat. Shit, I fall a bit behind by the broadcast. Yeah, God, it says She saw this one time, and it was ages ago. I remember nothing. Lol. Oh well, you remember the bit with Jaws in it? Eat biting the shark. Uh, oh, say my audio's a bit choppy. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Might might be because I've got like things running a bit and that. Yeah, you have a little static sound. And yeah, Bon. Yeah, Bon, did it. Yeah. I'll say that, ain't Courtney. Yeah, Bon, and that. You wear static or is it just me at Bon? It comes and goes. Some static occasionally. Yeah. Yeah, it's better than now. This came out a year before I was born. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think same here. Oh, yeah, it said it. Oh no, it said it also I've been born here. Yeah. Probably does that, but I don't know what it because it ain't showing up on mine. And spoiler alert, yeah. And George Lucas in. He's having a check out. Bone, Hail George Lucas. Yeah. Audio is still a bit choppy. Right. Oh, I'll check about that out. It could be American signals. So, oh yeah. But back to the cast though. Anyway, yeah. I have Vincent Mazzello, Ivan Allen, Peter Whiteman, Joshua Adams, Ray Jewers, Nick Elmsworth, Dole Richmond, Bob Sherman, David Ackler, Eva Rubberstein, and Marlene Glasworth. Oh, she plays Strombag secretary sort of thing. And then George Baker and Sean Burry. Yeah. Because like there's loads of fighting in it, as in like war battles are like kicks off. So they have like loads of fucking extras and that. Uh, right, pop culture. Yeah. And Bones say, right, pop culture. Yeah. Yeah. Great film and that. He's got like loads of like action in it, especially near the end and that. And he's got a Bond car in it. That's fucking, I think, one of the best Bond cars. Yeah, uh, just gonna check out the audio. Yeah, yeah, because oh, it has gone back a bit though to the case of getting Bond into the action and that because he does kick ass at quite a bit in this shit. Because there's bits where fucking he just like rubbed him off, beat the shit out of fucking some dudes and that. But he has trouble with it's probably because he has trouble fighting with Jaws in this, so they have to make Roger Moore fucking um, beating up other dudes and that. Yeah, yeah, I've just aired it. Yeah, it's a bit choppy and that. Like, I might have to like do something like that. But, uh, so I'll get my earphones. I think though. Where did I put them though? Fuck, where? Oh well, I'll just mute it for a bit. Yeah, hopefully that sounds a bit better. Yeah, hopefully that sounds a bit. No, it didn't. This should make it sound better though. Yeah, it did. Yeah, cheers. Uh, Got in that, yeah. Cheers for pointing that out for us. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Both saying, cool, you have the Japanese poster. Yeah, because it had the Lotus Esprit, the White Lotus Esprit in it. So, like, oh, yeah. And it had the bass sort of thing. Because and so when you describe, when I'm describing stuff at the end, it's like, oh, yeah, that's what it looks like. I could bring pictures up and all. I should really do that. But, yeah. And, yep, Bo's saying, better now. Yeah, well, talking about the spoilers, then I was going to the spoilers because oh yeah, film's fucking quite easy to like um, explain because most of it's action, as I say, but some of it is where fucking Bond's getting his ass kicked a bit by Jaws. Uh, but it's all massive and that. Like, oh yeah, you can't fucking go mono on mono with Jaws without having any like weapons or out. Yeah, spoilers. Well, actually, but yeah, actually, okay. I can do a spoiler one will be better. Use. Yeah, spoilers. Which is your favourite Bond car? Oh, say the Lotus Esprit. He's got his. One of them ways. Bit outdated now. But I was saying though, I know they definitely. I don't know if that Lotus Esprit that they was using in the Bond film could reach about 180, but I'm sure the, they do Lotus Esprits that could get to 180 and that. So at miles per hour thing, and so yeah, and it can go underwater and all. Because the spoilers are on. It can submerge underwater, which is like where when you first see it and that you're thinking, "What the fuck? Oh, it's crazy as fuck. It's just going off the ledge." But anyway, it, oh, to this like beginning of that, like uh, just getting up back to the beginning. Because it starts off in that like submarine, and like you see everyone sort of like at the dinner table playing chess and that, and it's all shaking and that. Then the lights go out and everything and that, and you don't know at this stage what's happening, but it's like um, ship that's massive and it makes them it drops a EMP bomb or something and that. And so all the electronics go out, and so it makes them fucking have to um, re-emerge or submerge to the top, and that's when like you don't know this when you see it, but that's when like they get took by this big trawler ship that like opens up and swallows it. Like submarine, it's supposed to be that massive and that. Oh yeah, boys, he likes the Lotus and the Toyota 2000 GT. Right. Anyway, um, I think it was like British or an American submarine. It's hard to tell because sometimes they use British as American. But anyway, I think it's an American sub, and then the Russians they get a sub done, but you don't see this. You just see the colonel who's head of the Russian say, "Oh yeah, get me our best agent," and then you see it's oh Barbara Betch as An Anya Amazova, and she's in bed with like this dude who he has to go on his mission, or if he doesn't have to go on his mission, he goes anyway, sort of thing. So then, like, you see M, and he's like, "Get our best agent," and then it cuts to Bond, where on his getting off with some bird and that, who he's probably shagged and that, in this cabin in Austria somewhere, I think, and that. Somewhere it's real snowy because he gets a message though on his watch that says, "Oh yeah, get report to headquarters immediately." So he's like, "Oh yeah, all right, and yeah, I've got to go and that." And then it turns out she's a spy and that. Oh, she's some kind of agent, because then she tells these dudes, "Oh yeah, he's leaving now," and that. They're really all good, really. Oh yeah, yeah. And the Aston Martins, oh, yeah, they're good too, though. But yeah, so Bond like leaves the cabin and that, and gets like chased by these four dudes, and I tell you, there's some great like skiing like scenes and that. Obviously, the skiing scenes where you see with Roger Moore, they're in a studio and that with a green screen or a projection background. Anyway, you can tell he's like. But anyway, like they start shooting at Bond and that, and so he skis into this sort of like oh, cabin little bits where it's got like alcoves sort of in it, and then he's that skiing around and that fucking does some great sort of skiing and fucking does like a backflip and all where in Alan Partridge and that with Steve Coogan. Like he describes it great and that saying, "Oh, he does a backflip, but not too show off, but he does the job and that." And then like yeah, he shoots like a fucking dude and all. Who's you find out later on is the Yanikov Russian Baird's boyfriend and that. And then like yeah, he bags out some dudes and that, and then everyone's probably seen the scene where he fucking just skis off the end of the fucking cliff. And like this stunt, when it was done, it was fucking real dangerous because he had to like kick the skis away from him before he opened the parachute. Because if he didn't, then the skis would have like fucking got caught up in the parachute. And yeah, well, anyway, it's that scene where yeah, you think he's gonna fall to his death, but no, he pulls the parachute out, fucking Union Jacks up and that. You went did it, did it, did it, did it, do, and then fucking nobody does it better comes on and that, and a lot of like naked girl silhouettes dancing again. Roger Moore with a bit of trampolining, and yeah, pretty good Bond sequence and that. Great song and that. My third best song, Bond song. But the second is like um, uh, uh, A License to Kill. But yeah, anyway, then you see Anna Abachoff talking to the leader of the Russian sort of KGB and that, um, Colonel, what's his name? You should have put that Colonel. General Goggle, yeah. And like he tells her like, "Oh, your boyfriend's dead," and that, and like we need you to go on a mission and that to retrieve oh, a microfilm because in them days you didn't have like MP3 fucking memory drives and that. It was done on microfilm, and so well anyway, then you see Bond on a submarine and that talking to Q and M and the colonel of the submarine and that, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, their submarine got tracked." Oh yeah, so it is a British submarine, yeah. So yeah, their submarine got tracked and then was captured, which I saw at the beginning and that. Or it could be an American one setting off from the British Isles anyway, but I'm not quite sure. It could have been that in the film, but you know when they made it, it's been like. But anyway, Bond gets told, "Oh yeah, you got to find out what happened and that," and then you see, um, oh, Cade Jurgens as Carl Strombag, like eating dinner with his secretary and that real long table. Like the Russians have been like Putin's been getting ragged about. But anyway, he's got his two scientists that have built him the submarine tracking system, and so he's like talking to him, and then he says, "Oh yeah, I found out like someone's been trying to sell the secrets and that," and so they're a bit like, "Oh yeah," and so he tells his secretary to go up out, and it's like this lift, and it's like a fucking villain's lair where the lift has a trapdoor that sends her into a shark pit, shark pool. Anyway, and then she gets eaten that, and then they go up into the lift, and then it's an underwater base, which you saw on the poster, sort of thing, where that rises up and that, and then fucking you see Jaws and his mate and that, and they get told, "Oh yeah, there's a microfilm getting sold or got like sold anyway with the submarine tracking system. So you need to go find it, and anyone who comes in contact with it, you kill." And so Jaws and the other henchmen are like, "All right then, yeah." And then you see the two scientists in a helicopter where fucking um oh uh yeah Bond in the tune we all live in a yellow submarine, yeah, it's a bit like, but it's more of a black submarine sort of thing, but yeah. And Apex Comics, yeah, Apex man, it says, "Spy Who Loved Me, great flick, yes. My mum took me to see it at Winchester Theatre in 1977. Yeah, 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 yeah. As it's got the Lotus Esprit, White Lotus Esprit in it. And yeah, yeah, both says, here to Apex Comics and that. And Apex Comics is Airborne back and that. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, the two scientists go up in the helicopter, and Carl Carl Strombag, the main villain, he explodes the plane by remote control and that shit, and so fucking he's like having no loose ends and that. Wait, wait, and then Bond is in Egypt and that now because they've heard that this freakish dude, he knows how to get hold of like the microfilm, or he's gonna fucking buy the microfilm that has the tracking system like blueprints on it. Well, yeah, he goes to like one of his mates and that, and this is where you see like loads of the oh, what they're called. Got a special name for them. Um, yeah, Arab beauty. Yeah, this is where you see the Arab beauties in like this uh, tent that is like a sheik has got, and that where he's like Bond's connection who knows about the microfilm and that, and then he tells him like, "Oh yeah, Fekish knows about it," and that because I think he's gonna be buying it or something, and so Bond like goes looking at out to see where this dude Fekish is, and he goes into this sort of like house and that. Well, it's in some kind of city that's like got these houses and that, and he's talking to like this woman who's like there to sort of honey trap Bond or honey trap anyone that like is trying to see where Fekish is. Well, anyway, Bond sort of like is kissing her and that because she's all like, "Oh yeah, you can wait," and that, and then Bond sort of like looks up and that, and he sees like a dude, one of the henchmen, that like Jaws is with, and that like, well, it's the only henchman because there's Jaws and his mate. Well, Jaws' mate, the henchman, like shoots at Bond, but Bond turns the bed and she gets shot like in on a Majesty's Secret Service and that. And then he chases after this dude, and this dude's quite big and that. And so like a pretty good fight where fucking he's just slamming Bond around a bit and that. But Bond's like punching the shell of him and that, starts kicking him. Some pretty good fight scenes and that, considering like the both. Well, Roger Moore is more an actor, and so like yeah, he doesn't do out great. And there is a few times where stunt dudes do sort of like fucking do his sort of like hard stuff where he probably gets chucked and that. But anyway, the fighting on top of a rooftop, and then like Bond punches the dude where he nearly falls off, but he grabs his tie, and then Bond's all like, "Where's Fekish and that?" And he's like, "Oh," tells him he's at the pyramids because like in Egypt it's like where you're having a pyramid sort of display show. And so Bond then just like slaps the dude's hand off his tie, and the dude falls down. Don't know if he dies, but he probably does die because he's, well, he's definitely injured. You don't see him in the rest of the film. Um, well, so did he take the Lotus to Egypt? Yeah, I think it. No, it's later on. I think he gets the Lotus and that. Uh, yeah, Page Bobby says Richard Kell, who played Jaws, was an underrated actor. He lifted the paper machete rock as if it weighed 300 pounds. He dropped it on his foot and pretended he broke it. Yeah, yeah, because like yeah, there is that bit where yeah, I thought it was because like he does look big and strong enough that he could lift up a fucking big rock. But yeah, obviously they have in Bond films and most films they have to fucking make sure the actor ain't straining himself because yeah, there's a bit and all where it's coming up where he bites like locks and that, and yeah, I think yeah, and like he breaks them, so yeah, they're made out of plastic or licorice, something like that. Especially when he had to bite it. I know they made some stuff out of licorice, and so when he bit it, it like bit easy. You know, it looked like he was biting it real easy. Um, the medics was concerned with Kell's injury, and he faked them out. All right, yeah. Uh, did they use stunt doubles? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's like most of the scenes, because um, Richard Kell wasn't a big star name around. It was like one of his breakthrough fucking movies. He did most of the stuff, but I think there is like one scene where he's hanging sort of like um, from this metal big magnet. Um, that yeah, I think they used stunt double then, but and definitely used a few stunt double. But when you watch the film though, Roger Moore, because he like was from the old school of fucking acting and that, he didn't mind having to. He knew if he was going to play James Bond, he had to take a few sort of like fucking action fuck because he knew like he was going to get compared to Sean Connery, who Sean Connery was pretty good at his fight scenes. He could fucking get in there, and obviously he wouldn't do fucking like any dangerous stunts, but he could do the fight scenes quite good. I think with Sean Connery, he hardly needed to use stuntmen to do fight scenes. Obviously, with the crazy stunts and that, he'd use stuntmen. But yeah, but I have to go get food. I'll be right back. Yeah, all right, well, yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah, back to the film anyway. But yeah, the dude anyway tells Bond like this Fisk, Fisk dude, got a fakish. This dude called fakish. Um, he's at this oh pyramid sort of show. Well, he sees him there, and he's talking to the Russian bad agent, and so he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll just watch him and that." And then he sees him like look and that, and there's Jaws, and when he sees Jaws, he starts to sort of like panic, and he sort of like tries to like um, fuck off whilst everyone's like watching this sort of fucking light show that's going on with the pyramids and that, and so starts walking off, and Bond starts to follow him and that. And then he sees him go into like this like cave thing, but it's got like a lock on where Jaws bites the lock off and that, and then gets in and bites in, kills him, takes the microfilm, and then like as a oh no, he doesn't take the microfilm. I think he just questions him or something. But then like yeah, Bond sort of like sees him in that dead, because he shoots Jaws when he comes out, but then the lights go out, and so Jaws disappears. And then when Bond comes out of the cave after seeing him dead and that, there's like two dudes who try to beat him up with the, but he beats the shell out of them and that. Fairly good fight scene and that. Like yeah, uses some stunt dudes and that. There's a few bits, but like there's a few other bits where he done and that. But like yeah, well, the Russian bed anyway. She just sort of like doesn't stay out, and Bond sort of casually walks off and that. Like, oh yeah, did you enjoy the show? And that, oh, I hope you enjoyed the show, or something like that. Anyway, he goes back to his hotel room and that, and then she sort of like, oh well, he goes back to the hotel bar, and then she's there and that. She starts talking to him and that. Or it's some hotel bar anyway, because then the Max Kleber, who has got this microfilm that has like fucking this submarine tracking system and blueprints on it. He's selling it, and so Bond and Amajva, Amajva, or whatever her name is, they start bidding for this microfilm and that because they need to get it back. And it's one of them where the governments are going to pay for it and that. Well, anyway, he gets a phone call, and so he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to go to the phone and that." Well, when he goes to the phone, Jaws is sort of like pretending to be a repairman, but then he goes in, gets the microfilm off him, like, bites him dead because he bites people's necks and that. And I think he he could bite the necks into, but I don't know if he does that or just stops the circulation that kills them. But anyway, he's dead because like Bond like gets a bit sort of patient where he is and follows him and that, and then sees like, oh yeah, a door's up, a window's open where Jaws made his escape. So he goes after Jaws and that, and sees Jaws get into a van. So he gets into the back where Anna Agagosh sort of like climbs in and that with him, and they start talking and that, and then Jaws has got like a two-way. Well, he's got like at least a one-way speaker system because he can hear everything that's going on in the back. So he just drives off and that and pretends like he don't know they're in the back and that. And he gets to like this. He must have drove miles and that because the Anatov bed falls asleep and that, and goes to like this ruins place and that where if you played GoldenEye, it's sort of like where Joe's level is sort of thing. Where's Aztec fucking ruins, and then like gets out and that starts walking around, and that, and Bond and um, they have touched on a bed, so I like follow him, but he loses them and starts to like spy on them because he's gone high up onto these sort of scaffolding. And then he like throws a big rock down and that, where it's probably the paper mache one. And like, yeah, Bond moves and that. And then Jaws goes down and starts fighting. And then, like, on the top bed, pulls a gun out. And she gets Jaws to give her the um, microfilm. But when Jaws gets the microfilm, he when she goes to pick it up, Jaws kicks the gun out of her hand, and then so she like fucking grabs the microfilm and starts to run, and then Bond sort of like is gonna have a fight with him, but Jaws gets this like plank of wood and goes to hit Bond with it. Bond ducks, and all the scaffolding comes down because it's like wooden scaffolding, and then it just buries fucking Jaws, and so fucking I think he's sort of like dead in that, and so they get into the van, even though she was going to leave without Bond, but Bond took the keys and that. And then, whilst they're sort of like fucking arguing about the keys, sort of thing, and that, Joe starts ripping the shit out of this van and that, rips the roof off and starts ripping the panels out and that, and so, like, yeah, there's a good scene, and I think this is where fucking. Um, Jaws, Richard Carl did like quite most of the old stunts and that because with him being so big and that, it was hard to get people to do his stunts and that unless like it was in places where you couldn't really tell how big there was. And like yeah, so anyway, they slammed Jaws into the back of like the the van and that, and fucking just bearing off and that. Even though he just rips most of the fucking van apart and that. So fucking they get to a stage where the band starts breaking down and that, and so they start walking, and they get to like a river bit where they go on a boat and that, and Bond checks out the fucking microfilm and that, and you don't know this, but um, the important information from the microfilm is missing, and so it's not the full blueprints of the submarine tracking system. And so Bond sort of like fucking starts talking to that Anna Amage the Barber bit breach and that, and then she gets a cig out and she fucking blows some sleeping dust into his face where it knocks him out and that, but he don't care because he knows like the microfilm in really out and that. Well, Bond gets back to headquarters sort of thing, but the headquarters is in this ancient ruins, Aztec ruins, where you see Bond um, and Q and that fucking got their um, Bond gadgets going and that, and they have like a camel seat where a fucking spike just shoots up and that, and Bond's all like, "Oh, that's uh, unexpected or something." And they have a smoking pipe, one of them uh, Shichashi smoking pipes that like turns into a machine gun and that. Well, the Russians and British are like teaming up because they've got like the blue the microfilm and that, but because he knows like there's like if they give it to Q and Q sort of like it enlarges it and that, and then like they see like there's a little mark that's off this fish that's like the fishing company in Strasbourg owned by the dude called Strombag, who's like the villain and that. So they get a fucking train to fucking Strasbourg and that. And bit like in Live and Let Die, where fucking at the end of that, the like fucking as a fight, because there's two separate compartments and that, and so Bond goes into one compartment and she goes into the other, and Bond's wanting to shag her in that, but she's saying no, no, and that. Well, anyway, she sort of gets undressed and that, and looks into the dressing cupboard and that, and sees there's fucking Jaws in there and that, and then he sat, and she like kicks him in that, but he slaps her around and that, and knocks her out, and then Bond hears a commotion. He fucking smashes a bottle on his back, but fucking Richard Keller's Jaws, he's just massive, and he's just making fucking Roger Moore like a child, because he starts slamming it around a bit and that, but Bond's like punching him and that shit. And then Jaws goes to like bite him because he's got him like sort of fucking in a chokehold sort of thing with one hand. And then Bond grabs a lamp and he smashes the bulb in the lamp and then fucking electrocutes George's teeth and that like fucks him up a bit. That Bond can like kick him out of the fucking window by using the rails as some to hoist him up, and you pulls him out of the fucking train. But he's still alive and that because you see him like brush himself off. Uh, uh, Damn it! Just as Smollett has already been released from jail. Yeah. Welcome, Greer. What the fuck? No way, just Smollett got out. Are you going to report on it? Well, yeah, fuck it. You just. So, oh, is that what you do? It's who you know. And so, yeah, he must know some people. He might have claimed he was on suicide watch and that, even though he said he wasn't suicidal. But yeah. Well, anyway, Bond gets to shag fucking um, and to over top, and yeah, Amber's offer, and then like you see him in Strasbourg, and this is where the fucking Lotus gets delivered and that, and so he's in Strasbourg, and he's got a meeting with Stromberg because he's told them that he's a marine biologist called Mr. Sterling. And so, like, oh, right, yeah. And it's saying, like, he's bringing his wife, who's Anna of a top or whatever, and that. And, like, they've got this, like, marine base and that's, like, above water at the time, but it can submerge underwater. And so Strombag, he's watching him and that, and he has a talk with Bond, even though he talks to him like he's Mr. Sterling about like his place and that, and how what's like the stuff he's researching in, because he's claiming like he's loving the fish and that, and he's wanting to clear up the ocean and that. But really, he just wants a secret underwater base that he can go when there's a nuclear fallout and that. So like Bond gets talking to him and that, and he realizes, oh yeah, this is like fucking some crazy ass shit. That's yeah, fucking. I need to investigate this more. But anyway, he leaves and that, and then Strongberg fucking knows like it's James Bond, a British agent, and our Tosh, or whatever her name is, a Russian agent and that, and then so he tells Jaws to kill him, and that when they reach land, because it's all on like his sort of fucking marine biology base. Wait, getting the Lotus and that, driving along, and then this bike and sidecar start like following them, and the sidecar fucking finds the sidecar that's got a bomb on it. But Bond fucking, this is a pretty good stunt where fucking he has to go in between two fucking trucks and that, and the truck he overtakes is a doubled truck, got double trailer, and the trailer explodes and that, and it's got like pillars or feathers, or because like loads of feathers just fucking fly out. I think it's delivering pillows, or it's delivering the inside feathers for pillows. But anyway, whatever it's delivering, loads of feathers come out. Fuck the dude's sight up and that, and he like falls off the edge because like it's sort of like rocky sort of ravines, sort of drop offs and that. He goes over. Then you see Jaws and some henchmen and that in the car, sort of fucking follow him and that, and Jaws is shooting and that. And there's a bit of a comedy element where there's other dude shooting, but Jaws just takes his gun off him and that, and starts shooting at Bond and that, of the Lotus and that. And then this fucking real good fucking um, oil jet that just squirts loads of oil shit right in the windscreen that just fucking covers it so much. But it fully covers it that like yeah, they can't see exactly where they're going and they just like fucking go off a cliff edge, smash into a fucking little hook thing, explodes, and that fuck Jaws comes out again, sort of like a bit dusted and that. So like yeah, he brushes himself off and like just looks at the dude when he walks by to say, "Yeah, what are you gonna do?" And then you see this helicopter come up and that, and it's got like what's her name, Caroline Monroe as Naomi in the helicopter, and like obviously like the stuntman's doing it, but they make it look like she's just flying it by herself with a fucking machine gun turret and set up and that way she's just shooting the shit out of she's trying to shoot the shit out of the Lotus, but the Lotus is doing some nice fucking moves and that, like the stunt driver, the driver out of the Lotus Free fucking drove it, and that the test driver for the Lotus and that. Anyway, it is a famous bit where he fucking just flies off like this pier edge and that into the water, and then it fucking starts to transform into a fucking submarine car, where Bond then fucking gets a tracking system on the helicopter where he fires a fucking rocket that just explodes the fucking helicopter. And then he goes and has a look at this secret underwater base that he like um alerts the fucking um guards who are in sort of like swimming fucking divers frogmen suit and that with like rocket sort of fucking harpoon guns where Bond just fucking runs one over in that. And then they come out in these like little two-seater subs with rockets in that, where the Lotus gets damaged a bit in that. And then fucking the Russian bird, she sort of fucking presses a button that does an oil slick and then drops a fucking landmine that fucking explodes underneath them and that fucks them up and that, and then they just sort of like fucking go off and that. But there's damaged a bit. There's a famous scene where they fucking go to this beach and it just looks like they're driving out of the water and that, but in real life it got towed out of the water because the engine flooded and because they didn't have no fucking like thingy other way, it was cheaper just to fucking tow it out. But it looks like it drives out and that. Uh, and so yeah, fucking gets out of the beach and then does a bit of the old comedy where he drops a fish and that. Everyone's looking at that, and then Bond and the Russian bed, they're in the hotel and that, and Bond gives her a light with a lighter that he bought from the place where her husband got shot and that, and then she like questions him and that, and she finds out, oh yeah, he did shoot her, he did shoot her, he did shoot him and that, and Bond's like, yeah, well he was chasing me at 40 miles per hour on skis, you know what I mean, shooting, I, I just had to like kill him sort of thing. No, nothing personal and that. Well, anyway, she's like, "Oh well, when this mission's over, I'm gonna kill you." So they go to like this submarine and that get dropped off. I think it's an American sub, and that like, yeah, the fucking no, like, oh yeah, fucking, they're gonna get probably fucking kidnapped by this big fucking trawler vessel that's just swallowing up big fucking submarines. So you see a bit of like sad tit in that where the female, the Russian bed, probably a stunt, a body double, got like a shower in that in the officers' changing room and that. But anyway, they get like captured by the sub and they fire like a speaker system so they can talk or they can hear them like calling them to like, yeah, just get out of the submarine and that, and then they shoot like this fucking needle point that pierces through the submarine and is attached to a pipe that's gonna um, put, oh, I forget what gas they're gonna use, but it's gonna kill them all anyway. Um, Cyanide or whatever fucking gas they're gonna fucking inject it in there it's gonna kill them. So they all like get out and that, and then like the Russian bird gets noticed for being a bird, and then Bond sort of like beats up a fucking guard and that's harassing her. Oh, she karate chops one, and then he beats up another one, and then like Strombag sees it's Bond and added trouble whatever, and like says, "Oh, bring him up and that to the base command station and that." Fucking like I'll take the bed because then like he takes out and then this bit where they do with miniatures and that, but it looks good in that where they shoot like a fucking torpedo with a fucking speedboat inside the middle where the torpedo shell must be massive because then it opens up and like speedboat. Oh, all miniatures, I think, in that. Well, anyway, it burns off in that, and then fucking um, Bond is getting escorted to like fucking get locked up, but there's that being a shout of guards and that. And I say he beats up quite a shit load of guards here, and he just shoots a shitload until he gets to like a little tram rail thing where he gets to where they're holding all the submarine fucking sailors and that like British and Russian and Americans and that they're all like getting freed and that, and it becomes like a big sort of fucking war battle where the Strombag sort of fucking soldiers are like all dressed in red and that, and they're fucking locked down in that in the headquarters sort of thing, head base quarters of this big massive trailer tanker fucking ship and that. And they all get like weaponed up and that. Great fucking bit of a war scene going on in like this little. At the time, I think it was the biggest. So I think it's some could have the record for the biggest stage set done for a film. Like there's loads of fucking explosions and that, and then the lockdown because they reinforced sort of like barrier steel fucking that they can't get through now. And so Bond has to get like a nuclear fucking detonator from a nuclear fucking warhead and that where the bit where if he touches the side it'll explode and that, so he gets out real carefully and that. And then goes like onto the top bit of this like rigging where there's a big camera that's like a fucking big like globe and that like that's got the cameras in it because there's about 5 or 6 cameras in it like in this globe because it's done in the 70s where they had to have big cameras and that. But anyway, Bond gets on the camera and that, and it's panning up and down, and it goes down to where the fucking sealed off um, control center is and that. And he plants his bomb with a 10 second or a 20-second timer, and he tries to like go back, but he can't because fucking it jams a bit. But anyway, they sort of like fucking connect because he's unconnected it and that to like get the time to like plant the bomb, and so they redivert the and so it starts pulling him back where he can drop and it explodes and that takes out the fucking base and that they get the headquarters sort of station bit, and so Bond and that gets in and that, and then fucking sees like they've got 2 submarines that are gonna fire a nuke, one at Russia and one at America. So it starts off like a fucking nuke war and that. Well, anyway, fucking Bond gets in and that to their cause, and then re fucking plans there. Oh, yeah, he redirects the target. Um, so instead of targeting Russia or America, they get them to target each other and that. And so they fire the missiles off, and then they blow each other's sort of fucking submarines up that are filled with these Strombag fucking like mercenaries. And like yeah, they're both in the sea, so yeah, don't get killed with that. But they get in because like there's a submarine left that they get into, and then they have to blow the way out of the hull of the hull of the ship and that. And so when they do that, they fucking destroy this big fucking tanker thing that they got out of. And then Bond's like, oh yeah, there's this secret. Well, it's not so secret, but it's a water based sort of thing layer that he knows this Blumberg, this Strongberg, um, dude's gone to where he's took the Russian bed. Well, anyway, the Americans have got like a submarine left, and they've been told, "Oh yeah, you've got to blow the shit out of this base thing." But Bond talked him into giving him an hour um, of time to get there and get his bed out and that. Well, anyway, he goes in there on a jet ski and that. Casually just strolls in and that, and then Strongberg says, "Oh yeah, use the lift, Mister Bond." And then it's that lift that fall has got like a trapdoor bottom, but Bond sort of like pins himself at the sides where he goes up in the lift and gets out with a gun and that. And then Strongberg, he's all like, "Oh, sit down," sort of thing and that. And Bond to like amuse him, he sits down and that where there's a big tube with a fucking harpoon fucking missile fucking gun at the end. And in this Bond, Roger Moore did get his ass burned or something because when they shoot at the through the tube, Bond jumps out of the way, but like he did it like so close to when it was going to explode that fucking Roger Moore got a bit of cinders, I think, on his ass or whatever. But anyway, he shoots, Bond moves, and then Bond goes in and starts shoots down the fucking tube, which he's got a gun at the end. But I'm thinking, because you don't see the gun get moved, but I'm thinking once he shot the gun, he moves it, and so the tube's clear that he can, that then Bond can shoot through there. But anyway, even if he don't, he shoots enough through that it fucks him up, and then he really like make sure the job's done by leashing another fucking two or three into him. And so yeah, he's definitely dead in that. And then he like goes off to see where Anna Anna Toppers or whatever her name is, the Russian bird. And then like it's like an underwater sort of base thing that like fucking is like at the top. It's submerged at the top and that, but it looks like it's set for underwater and that. So like there's bits where I like fucking under like fucking like a submarine sort of thing, even though it is a base. But anyway, Jaws sees him and that. Then Bond shoots fucking Jaws, but shoots him in the teeth where fucking he, like fucks him up, but not enough. And so then Jaws grabs him, throws him through these sort of like door things or spin around and that. And then he's gone where this like shark pit is, where the people get like chucked down it and that. But anyway, Bond's fighting him and that, like okay, Richard Kell, as I say, he makes fucking Roger Moore look like a child. And that, but Roger Moore and Bond, like, he escapes that, and he sees like this magnet machine that he turns on and that, and he lowers it down and that, and then he does like a look as to say, "Oh, watch out, fucking above you," sort of thing, and then he just turns it on, and fucking gets like fucking Jaws' teeth like stuck on it and that. Then Jaws gets pulled up, and this is where I think they put a stuntman maybe in that. Well, for a bit of it, I think he did get pulled up, but I don't know if he gets dropped down in it. I think they use a stuntman because then Bond like moves Jaws into the middle of this like shark pool, and then just drops him into it and that by turning the magnet off, and then like Jaws is fighting with the shark, and then Bond escapes to the like other rooms and that to check them out to see where the Russian bed is, and he finds her in um, Strombag's like master layer base room and that, and he like unties her and that, and to go into like this escape pod and that, and then that's when the American like submarine and that general is he's like an hour and 5 minutes sort of thing limit. So he starts just bombing the shit out of this base and that starts sinking. But Bond and the Russian bed get into the escape pod hatch that like submerges up and that. Uh, like it's got like a fucking nice setup and that, and then she like points a gun at Bond and he's gonna shoot him, but Bond fucking saved her life, so I think she lets him off, and they're shagging it in this sort of like fucking escape hatch that's got a real nice interior fucking deck out. It's fucking pimped up to fuck. Got like a sofa bed thing. The shagging in and that, and they get like picked up in this trawler thing by like the British and Russian and I think American fucking soldiers or whatever and that. And M's are like, Bond, what you doing? And Bond's all like, oh, I'm keeping the British end up, sir. And then he closes the curtains, 'cause that's how pimped out it is. It's got electric curtains and that. And so fucking, and then you see like Jaws, he's starts swimming off because he survived again. And then fucking, there's a nobody does it better sort of cover with like trumpets and that, like did it, did it, did it, did it, did sort of thing. And then nobody does it better comes on and that. And then at the end of it, it says fucking for your eyes only. Bond will return for your eyes only. But I think they fucked up where they was going to make for your eyes only, but for some reason, I think it was because of Richard Kell in it that they made Moonraker. Even though at the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, it says Bond will return for your eyes only, or he will return in for your eyes only. It won't. It was Moonraker. So yeah, that's one of them things where they tried planning ahead, but it got changed and so fucking. But they couldn't do all by then. It was like, oh yeah. Well, nowadays, if oh, all the fucking um, CGI and that, they're like, oh yeah, well we'll fucking clear up that mistake. We'll put Bond returning Moonraker. Yeah, I'm even going because like I'm sure, but I'll just check because I need to know what next week's film is and all. But yeah, uh, yes, it's like Strombag and all. He is in this. Looks like fucking end top, like fucking that soft dude. I forget his name. But yeah, it was it pretty good film. The Spy Who Loved Me for this sort of thing because yeah, it's all about fucking some cunt trying to fucking get America and Russia to bomb the fuck out of each other and have a nuke fucking war, and so he can do like his underwater base and just live until probably everyone's dead and that, and then they could just fucking have their sort of fucking paradise. But yeah, great film though, great fucking film. Yep, Apex Comic, it's true. No, I am not. Oh yeah, same from like yeah, Jesse Smollett got out because he was he didn't do it. He was innocent. Yeah, and yeah, Pugger said it is true, but he's not going to report on it. No, but yeah, great film though, great film. Yeah, just see. Yep, yeah, as I say, I was right. Even though at the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, it says James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only. He doesn't. After The Spy Who Loved Me, he returns in Moonraker. And then after Moonraker, he returns in For Your Eyes Only. So yeah, yeah. So if if there's ever a pop quiz, it's like which Bond film got the wrong prediction of what Bond film he was going to return in. It's fucking The Spy Who Loved Me. and the film was for your eyes only that they got wrong. But yeah, what's going on? Oh yeah, Cloud Slough, Cloud Slough, what his name is. But yeah, uh, yeah, that's all really fucking Strombag is. If you watch it, and it sounds exactly like him. And that when um, people start talking about him being like, oh yeah, a Bond villain. This is the Bond villain. That fucking Cloud Slough is fucking the closest to. Yeah. Mm. So, yeah, it's a great film. Got some great sort of action in it and that. Like Roger Moore, he does some pretty good fight scenes. Not great because he's an actor in that, so that's why usually they don't like the actors to do much fight scenes. Yeah, great film though. Yeah. Got like quite a few crazy gadget car ones because yeah, this is like because yeah, he doesn't have really any gadgets apart from the Lotus Esprit. That's got all the gadgets in this film. And it's fucking real good fucking action in it and that. But yeah, fucking not all that much gadget action apart from with the car. Yeah, I think I'll end it. Yeah, so I think I'll just do some thanks and that. Yes, uh, cheers, Courtney. Popping in that. Yeah, cheers, Bud. Yeah, cheers, George Lucas and all. Yeah, cheers, pop culture creator, Snaggle Puss. Yep. Cheers to Apex Comics. All that. Oh, yeah. Should have done that one though, really. Yeah. Cheers, Apex Comics on it. And yeah, that's it. All right. So yeah, next week, Moonraker with Carl Richard, Richard Carl. He, he's got one of them names where he's got two sort of Christian names. But yeah, Richard Carl, yeah, back in Moonraker with Roger Moore. and he has a speaking part and all in Moonraker. He has 2 or 3 lines, and he says them all right and all. Because you'd think, his accent wouldn't be that great and that, but no, he does it quite good. But that's next week with Moonraker. So yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.